I hope you didn't mind my throwing that little religious reference in there. But you know, there are 6 admonitions in the Bible concerning homosexual activity. And our enemies are always throwing them up to us, usually in a vicious way and very much out of context. What they don't want us to remember is that there are 362 admonitions in the Bible concerning heterosexual activity. I don't mean to imply by this that God doesn't love straight people. Only that they seem to require a great deal more supervision. Well, at some ridiculous point in my career, it became my ambition to play all 50 states and to break the law in 24 of them. And I haven't really been doing badly. I've played 40 states at this point, and that sounds pretty impressive until you realize which 10 are left. They all begin with Dakota. And still, I do such a mixed bag of performances. You know, I appear for clubs and concerts and the women's festivals and men's leather contests, things for the lesbian, gay, bisexual alliances on college campuses, and of course AIDS and political fundraisers and so much in the lesbian and gay religious community that sometimes I'm housed with men and sometimes with women. And I want to tell you, honey, these are 2 very different things. When I am housed with a man, it'll go something like this. A fellow will come and meet me at the airport, introduce himself by saying, "Hello, Ms. Lavner, my name is Kirk." That's Kirque. You'll be staying with me and my lover Ben, that's Behn, for the weekend. Now, we have a white stretch limo out here. Just watch your head getting in, and I think there are some assorted hot and cold snacks and beverages. There's a tape deck and a cellular phone if you need that, video, VCR and television and so on. And by the way, Ms. Lavner, please try not to be upset by the kind of neighborhood that we seem to be driving through. I take a look outside, and it's like war-torn Baghdad. The ragged millions are out there. Starving children are throwing themselves at the limousine. I'm tearing off bits of pâté and tossing it out the windows. And that's when he says, "But a number of gay men have been buying up the old Victorian houses and renovating them." And that's when we pull up in front of Tara. Da, 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 da. Right? Juan, he calls Juan. Juan will be your houseboy for the weekend. Juan, please show Ms. Lavner to the suite on the first floor and how the sliding glass doors open up onto the pool terrace. I think that you have a wine list in your room, Ms. Lavner, and everything you need. Dinner will be at 11 p.m. We're having Nouvelle Peruvian. You know, this is, it's very different from when you stay with the women. And I'm not talking about women on college campuses. That's like an out-of-body experience. Really, that's when you pull up in front of a house that says on it, "Condemned." The first 3 times I thought, how witty, how clever. Then I realized it was the county that put up the sign, not the women. You go inside and a very young woman says to you, "Oh, Ms. Lavner, it's awesome, it's most excellent and outrageous that you could be here. I hope you don't mind sleeping on the floor with River Earth Owl Woman and her 6 friends." And if you require food over the weekend, we think we know where you can get some. I'm not talking about those women. I'm talking about the other women. I'm talking about the women with the animals. Right? I love animals. But I have been housed with a German Shepherd that was going to go to obedience school next week. Hands in the pockets for days. And with, I've had a pit bull terrier allowed to run loose through my dressing room. Please take him away, please. Well, we'd like to, but he's real hard to catch when he gets excited. The low point, however, of my entire life came when I was playing a Midwestern state that shall remain nameless, except that I do not eat cheese anymore. Because there I was housed with a producer who collects birds. I don't know why you would collect birds. You cannot have a relationship with a bird. They make seed and poop. That's about it. But these weren't even normal birds. These were like little going out of style extinct type birds. The seersucker throat slasher bird. You take a look, and he's wearing a little drip dry suit and bleeding from the neck. Not a pretty sight. Well, I admired all of the birds, and when we got to the last cage, it had in it something that I have since learned is called a macaw, which is a slightly smaller version of a parrot. And this macaw talked. What it said, all weekend I might add, incessantly, was, hi, 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 hi. She opened the cage and she said to me, would you like to hold him? I'm from New York, so my first thought is, what the hell for? But my lover is from the Midwest, so now I suffer from terminal graciousness. Hold him? I would love to hold him. I've been living for the moment when I can hold him. Can I hold him for a long time? You know that crap? She opened the cage. The bird dive-bombed onto my finger, stuck his beak an inch into my index finger, drew out. I was gushing blood. Gushing blood. Nobody knew what to say. I tried to graciously save the moment, and so I remarked casually, please take him. I don't think the bird likes me. And with that, the bird looked me right in the eye and said, fuck you. I have graciously decided to remain on tour, not in that state. And still, I think these are the kinds of things that happen to us, not as bad, of course, as when we enter into the disastrous relationship. You know, the match that was made in small claims court.